Imagine trekking through dense forests on the lookout for elusive bee hives high up in the trees. The prize? Some of the purest, rawest honey the world has to offer. But it's not for the faint of heart. This honey can cost up to $9.50 per kilo, making it a sweet yet risky venture for those daring enough to take it on. The process begins at noon, on a sunny day when the bees head to the nearest water source to cool their hive. Local honey hunters often head to these streams to track the bees back to their hives. Some use small binoculars while others are testing out new GPS devices to make this task easier. Does this sound like something you'd do? Once the hive is located, often in a tree more than 60 feet high, the hunt begins. Armed with protective clothing, smoke blowers, and harvesting containers, these hunters start their climb. Imagine scaling a massive tree with over 40 hives using a rope ladder. Skilled climbers, these hunters release smoke as they go up, which calms the bees and keeps them from attacking. The smoke also makes the bees less likely to sting, which is crucial when you're hanging high above the ground. One scratch with a knife or a simple wave of a leafy branch drives the bees away without harming them. After a few minutes, the hunter carefully trims the hive, collecting only the inner honeycomb while leaving enough for the bees to survive the winter. These hunters are careful to avoid damaging the hive too much, ensuring that they can return to the same spot next year. So how far would you go for the sweetest reward? In a remote village high in the peaks of the Himalayas, the Gurung people of Nepal harvest something extraordinary: mad honey. Priced at $150 per kilo, this honey isn't just any honey, it's harvested from flowers that can cause hallucinations. With only a handmade bamboo ladder and sheer bravery, these honey hunters make their way up cliffs thousands of meters high. This is no simple task. It all starts with villagers checking the safety of the handmade bamboo rope ladder, watering it to ensure it won't catch fire during the hunt. After a long trek to the honey site, the ladder is hung over the cliff, and the hunt begins. The villagers spread smoke to distract the bees, and the hunter starts climbing, with nothing but a rope tied to his waist for safety. How would you feel hanging 12,000 feet in the air with just a rope holding you up? Once at the hive, the hunter uses a long stick, known locally as a tanglo, to cut the honeycomb and drop it onto a sheet placed 300 meters below. A single honeycomb can weigh up to 5 pounds, and a typical nest can measure 35 inches across and nearly 4 feet long. The harvest is a delicate balance, taking enough honey to make the effort worth it, but leaving plenty for the bees to continue their work. The demand for mad honey is growing due to its rare medicinal properties, especially in traditional medicine across Asia. But this dangerous harvest method keeps the price high, with a single pound selling for more than $160. Would you risk it all for a taste of this mind-bending honey? While honey hunters go to great lengths for wild honey, modern beekeepers have their own challenges. Using basic protective equipment and smoke, they approach the hive with care. The bees are driven off by shaking the frame, and only frames that are 85% covered in honey are selected. Larger beekeepers can manage up to 6,000 colonies, with each colony producing enough honey to maintain a stockpile of over 200 pounds for harsh winters. After the frames are collected, a soft brush is used to remove any remaining bees before the honeycomb is sent to a centrifuge for extraction. Even though the bees are removed from the honeycomb, beekeepers are careful to leave enough food for the bees to survive, ensuring a sustainable process. Beekeeping is a big business, and some urban areas have even found a sweet spot. Did you know that in Paris, France, the honey produced in the city is considered purer than rural honey due to the absence of pesticides? A 250 ml bottle of this premium honey sells for around $50, and its floral taste is highly sought after by honey enthusiasts. Let's talk about the crème de la crème of honey, Manuka honey. In 2023, a New Zealand company sold 250 jars of Manuka honey for $5,000 per jar. Manuka honey is incredibly valuable because of its unique antibacterial properties, making it a must-have ingredient in many health and beauty products. What's more, Manuka honey is only found in certain parts of New Zealand and Australia, and the flowers from which the bees collect nectar bloom for just 15 days a year. The harvest window is short 2 to 8 weeks, and because of the rugged terrain, helicopters and high-tech machinery are used to collect the honey. But wait, there's more. Manuka isn't the only honey with a sky-high price tag. In 2022, a honey from Turkey called Centauri set a new Guinness World Record as the most expensive honey in the world, costing a staggering $6,000 per pound. Harvested from hives placed deep inside caves, 10,000 feet above sea level, this honey absorbs powerful minerals from the earth. The catch? It takes 20 years for the honey to mature, and only 35 kilos are harvested annually. How much would you be willing to pay for a taste of this golden treasure? And then, there's royal jelly, the superfood of the hive. This creamy, nutritious substance is fed to queen bee larvae, and its benefits are so highly regarded that some believe it holds the key to longevity. Harvesting royal jelly isn't easy. It involves isolating the queen bee from the hive and tricking the workers into producing royal jelly for new queens. Once harvested, royal jelly can fetch up to $180 per kilo, especially the variety fed on rapeseed flowers. Royal jelly is also highly prized in the beauty industry and has become a popular ingredient in health supplements. A single hive can produce up to 30 kilos of this substance per year, and its reputation as a miracle product only continues to grow. Would you add royal jelly to your daily routine? Whether you're scaling cliffs in Nepal, managing thousands of beehives in France, or extracting royal jelly from delicate queen cups, honey hunting and beekeeping offer a fascinating glimpse into the world of one of nature's most treasured foods. From wild honey harvested in remote forests to the ultra-luxurious Manuka and Centauri varieties, honey is more than just a sweet treat. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our close relationship with the natural world. So, next time you drizzle honey into your tea or spread it on your toast, take a moment to think about the journey it took to get there. Would you ever consider joining the ranks of honey hunters or beekeepers? Hey everyone! Today we're diving into the fascinating world of silk production in China. It's a story that goes back thousands of years, but we're bringing it up to speed with modern times. Did you know that silk production in China is not only a symbol of tradition but also a booming industry? Stick around, and we'll break down how this luxurious fabric goes from tiny silkworms to the beautiful silk you see in high-end stores. And hey, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. What surprises you most about this process? Now, let's start with those little critters, the silkworms. These tiny guys are the stars of the show. Each one starts as an egg, as small as a grain of sand. After about 10 days, the eggs hatch into larvae. From there, it's a 5-week eating marathon. These larvae munch away on mulberry leaves. Talk about a leafy diet, right? But it's all in preparation for their big transformation. After weeks of munching, these guys reach about 7.5 cm in length and are ready for their next stage. They begin to spin cocoons, wrapping themselves up in a single thread of silk that can stretch over 1.5 miles long. Imagine that -1.5 miles from a tiny little worm. The cocooning process is essential because this is where the silk comes from. Once the cocoons are ready, the farmers carefully harvest them. No need to rush, though everything is done with great care to ensure the best quality silk. Now, here's where things get interesting. The cocoons are collected and sent off to the silk processing line. This is where the magic happens, blending old-school craftsmanship with new-age food industry machines and silk industry machines. First, the cocoons are gently heated in water to soften the silk fibers. This is crucial because it allows the silk to be unwound without breaking. And get this, one cocoon can give you around 3,000 feet of silk thread. That's like running almost the length of a football field. Amazing, right? So how do you turn all that thread into the silk fabric we all love? That's where the spinning and weaving come in. The softened silk is fed into machines that spin it into fine threads. These threads are then woven together using both traditional looms and high-tech machinery. If you've ever wondered why silk feels so smooth and luxurious, it's because the fibers are super fine, much finer than human hair. Once the threads are woven into fabric, they go through a series of finishing touches. This could include dyeing, printing, or even adding special treatments to enhance the silk's natural sheen. Ever worn silk before? How did it feel? Let us know. One cool thing about silk processing in China is how they mix modern and traditional methods. You'll see farmers hand-feeding mulberry leaves to the silkworms, but also high-tech machines ensuring that the silk threads are spun just right. It's a perfect blend of old and new, which is why China remains the top dog in the global silk market. In fact, China produces over 1.2 million tons of silk every year. That's a lot of fabric, folks. Oh, and here's an interesting fact. Did you know that the color of the cocoon can affect the final color of the silk? White cocoons usually produce the classic shiny silk, while yellow or golden cocoons can give a different hue. So the next time you're picking out a silk scarf or tie, remember that its journey started with one tiny silkworm munching on mulberry leaves. Now back to the production line. Once the fabric is ready, it's time for quality control. This is where silk processing machines come into play again, ensuring that every inch of fabric meets high standards. Any imperfections? They're caught and fixed before the fabric even leaves the factory. And you better believe that these companies take this seriously. Silk is a premium product, after all. Lastly, let's talk numbers. A single silkworm cocoon weighs about 3 grams, but China produces around 1.5 million tons of silk annually. To put that into perspective, that's the weight of 10,000 fully loaded 18-wheelers. And remember, all this starts with just a few mulberry leaves and some dedicated farmers. So next time you see a silk garment, you'll know exactly how much work went into making it. And it's not just about the final product, it's about the entire journey from worm to wardrobe. So, what do you think? Is silk worth all the effort? Now, here's a question for you. Have you ever worn a silk garment or slept on silk sheets? If so, you've experienced firsthand the luxurious feel of this incredible material. But did you know that silk isn't just used for clothing and bedding? It's also found in parachutes, surgical sutures, and even bike tires. Silk's unique properties make it a versatile material that goes beyond fashion. Another cool fact: silk production in China dates back over 5,000 years, making it one of the oldest industries in the world. And despite its long history, China continues to innovate in the field of silk processing, ensuring that this ancient tradition remains relevant in the modern world. So, next time you see a silk product, whether it's a scarf, a dress, or even a piece of furniture, take a moment to appreciate the intricate process that brought it to life. From the tiny silkworms munching on mulberry leaves to the high-tech machines in the silk processing line, there's a lot of work, skill, and dedication that goes into creating this timeless material. Before we wrap up, let's throw another question your way. Have you ever thought about the journey your clothes take before they end up in your wardrobe? Maybe next time you shop for that next silk shirt, you'll appreciate it a bit more.